The title of the speech is Write Your Own Story. Write your own story. Please help me welcome to the lectern, Toastmaster Bil Sadler.
Thank you. In 1974, my family completely uprooted and moved us from Waycross, Georgia to Albany, Georgia, right smack dab in the middle of my first grade year. My new first grade teacher said something to me I'll never forget. Reading class was divided into 3 groups based on reading levels. And I don't know why my teacher said this to me, but she did. You can't be in the top reading group. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, has anyone ever said something that hurt your feelings? I came home from school that day and my feelings were hurt. And I made an appointment with the only child psychologist I knew, my mom. My mom used to read bedtime stories to me, and she had an incredible ability to put the moral of the story in terms that I could understand. My favorite story, The Little Engine That Could. The happy little train, full of toys and candy for all the boys and girls, broke down and could go no further. Several engines came by, but none of the engines would lend a helping hand to the happy little train full of toys and candy for all the boys and girls. It all appeared hopeless until one more engine came by, a little blue engine, a very little engine. And all the dolls and toys, they begged that little blue engine for some help. But I'm just a little engine. All I do is switch trains in the yard. I've never even been over the mountain. The dolls and toys, they begged. But we must get over the mountain to take all these toys and the candy to the boys and girls before they wake up. The little blue engine saw that her help was desperately needed. She decided to give it a try. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. The little blue train slowly began to move. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And before long, they had reached the top of the mountain. And you know what's cool about being at the top of the mountain? It's all downhill from there. My mother would explain the moral of the story to me. And in this case, it seems like the moral of the story is that you can be or do anything you want to in life. And while that may be true, Mom had 2 other key points. The little blue train had a strong desire to help others. It's almost impossible to climb to new heights without a strong desire to lend a helping hand. And second, that little blue engine had to write her own story. That little blue engine was used in the yard to switch trains, and maybe because of her small size. Well, that story had been written for her. Somebody else wrote that story. But on that day, that little blue engine wrote herself a new story. Sometimes we fall into roles like jobs or relationships, and we become comfortable, content. Not necessarily happy or unhappy, but just content with our current story. When I came home from school that day after being told I couldn't be in the top reading group, my mom had a message for me. Son, write your own story. Picture your life as a story. Many pages and chapters have already been written because you are the sum of all your experiences. Picture the words in your book for just a moment. Think about all these words that have been written and ask yourself this question. Were those my words? Or were those the words in someone else's story? Consider this. You are the author of your own story. Words have been written from your birth to this very moment. But the pages that follow are blank. You determine the plot. You determine the scene. You determine the characters. If you don't like the plot, change it. If you don't like the scene, move it. If you don't like the characters, write them out of your story. Find supportive characters. But make no mistake, your story will be written. Will it be your story? Or will it be someone else's story? I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And I'm sure you're familiar with the saying, today is the first day of the rest of your life. So I challenge you, let today mark a new chapter. What story will you write? Toastmaster today.